State Police Emergency.
I'm at Sandy Hook School. There's somebody shooting guns.
Okay. Are you guys all in a room now, or is
We're in
it
a
You're in the classroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
My door's not locked.
Okay. Is there any way you can lock it?
No, he's out in the hallway.
He's out in the hallway?
Yeah,
Okay. And how old are the kids there?
5-year-old.
5 years old. Okay. Help is coming.
Oh gosh, I still hear him shooting.
What's
Oh my God. He's still shooting. Whoever it is still shooting.
Okay, do you know what they're shooting at?
No.
This is a letter I got yesterday from a donation. Y'all want to look at it?
Oh, yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
So this is just a letter.
Comes to me. This comes from Seattle, Washington. Now look at this. Here I am in Florida, and somebody in Seattle, Washington cares enough about what we're doing, okay? But here, when you open it up, basically you take a look at it. I'm very cautious when I open up letters, too. And basically what you see here is October 10th. This is when they wrote it. Dear Mr. Halbig, I want to thank you for your dedication to seeing the lies about the fake Sandy Hook massacre exposed. As a patriotic American, I applaud the courage and tenacity you have demonstrated in the face of what is clearly a formidable cover-up. You are a hero in the truest sense of the word. I hope this donation helps in some way bring you one step closer to the truth. Kind regards. And then you see a check that he's made out to Sandy. All have to be made out to Sandy Hook Justice. And he wrote a check for $200. Thank you, Mr. Halbig.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Sandy Hook Justice Report. I again have Wolfgang Halbig with me, and Wolf, just to catch the audience up to speed on a few things, why don't you go ahead and tell us some of the things that you're currently looking into and some things that we'd like to have some answers for.
I do not believe anyone died at Sandy Hook, children or teachers, and they need to prove me wrong. We've generated about $84,000, which we have spent on 3 attorneys, legal costs, travel, subpoenas, not bribing people, having to pay for the scripts. To be honest with you, I always thought it would take about $250,000. It would take a corporate sponsor, somebody who really loves their country, a patriot, who just cannot stand how Homeland Security and our government is treating the public. I thought Walmart would be there. I thought maybe the Magic owner, people who own these big athletic franchises. I think somebody would have the courage. The NRA, I am so disappointed in the NRA. I mean, my God, they should have been the first. I feel good because I really, really deep inside my heart feel like, thank God no children died that day and no teachers died that day. But then on the other side, what if I'm wrong?
I like being anonymous. I like being private. I don't like being recognized. I don't like the, the public aspect of it. Otherwise, I would have, appeared more in the media. But I made that decision early on. And that's a personal preference, based on where I'm at. The existence of hoaxers just reinforces my decision. A lot of times it's considered acceptable to make certain commentary related to me because I'm considered a limited public figure. It's all about just basically troll behavior, harassment, and that's the type of people that are gang stalking victims. Obviously, I'm not grieving in peace and in dignity.
Hold that thought. Hello? Hey, Jonathan, I'm in the car. Can I call you back? Okay, bye-bye. What were we talking about? Oh, Bushmaster. Come on, girls, I want you to put your thinking hat on. You're now an attorney for Bushmaster. These parents are suing you for millions and millions of dollars. And they're accusing you that the Bushmaster rifle, the AR-15, was used to shoot each of the children and staff members 3 to 11 times. Well, how are you going to prove that it was the Bushmaster rifle that was the victim, that was the weapon of choice? Exhume the bodies. You never watched Perry Mason and Columbo and all of these law and order shows? What if there's no bodies? I'm serious as a heartbeat. Now what happens? You exhume the coffins and there's no body in it. Now what happens?
Well, where would you go from there?
Well, I think some parents would have a lot of explaining to do, wouldn't you think?
So you haven't reached out to anyone?
I don't think it's appropriate for me to do that. What am I going to say? Am I going to accuse them that they faked their child's death? That's not who I am. See this? And it's look at this. Look how bad this is. Look at this. This is an elementary school parking lot, and it ought to be kept up. You know what I'm saying? Where are the handicap parking? They're not even coded properly. You know.
So what should it
It should be blue. It should be marked, especially marked for handicap parking. Now, I love this picture.
What's that?
That's Caitlin Roy. How old do you think these kids are? Are they first graders?
Look like maybe 4th.
See it? Thank you. I rest my case. She's a first grade teacher, always has been a first grade teacher. So how's she in there with 4th graders?
But I think she's talking about her, because it says C for C, which isn't that the thing she started?
On the morning of December 14th, 2012, inside the walls of Sandy Hook Elementary, our school endured a tragedy unimaginable. 26 lives were taken senselessly and brutally. In the midst of such unimaginable loss that I was very aware could have been my own, I could not continue to live the way I had, thinking I had all the answers, for now I simply knew that I did not. It led me to found, this is the first iteration of our website, Classes for Classes. We were founded, because we are an entire organization, on the belief that when we actively engage students in being kind, compassionate, and empathetic, that there is no room for hate. Thank you. Obviously, from what I lived through, I know things can change very quickly. I've had people come to events and harass me during them. And I have no patience for that, and I'm not going to tolerate it. I would ask them to think about the person they love the most in the whole entire world. And I would ask them to think about coming home from their funeral and going on their computer and reading on and on and on about how that person didn't die.
For whatever reason, Noah and Noah's image has been targeted a lot more by the hoaxer community. They've used his image, several of his photos, to just push their message. It would all be like this, every single one, and then they would have lettering on them. Or like this one, they took the image of Noah in the school, and they, anyway, that's what it is.
Okay, on December 14th of 2012, there was a hoax. It was called the Sandy hoax, where in fact nobody died and nobody got hurt.
And then he posts photos of my children.
And you, where are you at?
Right. The internet brings these people together. 30 years ago, people who had these thoughts didn't have a common space, and now they do. And look how many comments there are. I wrote him an email saying I'd like to speak to him, and I followed up with a phone call. The answer was no. That Wolfgang doesn't wish to speak with you unless you're willing to exhume Noah's body. That was the exact email that I got. So that was my answer. The people that write me nasty messages and wish me horrible thoughts are people that look just like you and sound just like you. And I'm not even sure, which side you guys are on, really. And I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean, I don't know what form your movie's going to take. I have used the World War II and the Holocaust to draw strength from. That was almost an entire generation of people that had to survive just horror, death, and in many ways senseless violence, right? So, Anne Frank's father continued on and had a life.
My gosh, I promise you this, okay? If this thing really, really happened as they say it did, I'm going to run as fast as I can to the nearest mental health facility, and I'm going to voluntarily enroll myself. I got to have some serious issues if I'm wrong.
We have a new building that was donated to us that we've named Holy Innocents Hall in honor of the children, too. It's across the parking lot, so. I don't know how you could even think something like this could be made up when you saw the anguish and the helplessness and where is safe. I mean, people started questioning, where is safe? Home invasions, you're not safe at home. You're not safe at school, and now you can't be safe at a church. Where is safe? And I think, to have someone kind of that's totally disconnected, doesn't even know our community, come in and say that we would be part of a plot that would bring such destruction and fear and anguish to people, it just is beyond my comprehension. The fact is, it happened. There are people who truly do believe that this was all staged and to support something in the government. But if you were here and you lived through it, and if you have a heart, my gosh, if you have a heart, and saw the pain of these parents bearing 20 children and 6 people bearing their loved ones, how could you even think that we would be part of stage this for the world to see? Why would you put a roadblock in the way of healing? I can show you a picture in church. A painting was sent to us actually for the 2nd anniversary. Well, you'll see a lot of people just pause here. And you can see we don't have their last names. There's no religious symbolism. It's just a very peaceful painting of remembrance. So, but you will see people, stand here and pause. And even though it's just the first name, their pictures are still in your head. When I look up there, I can see Catherine, I can see Anne Marie. You can see. Week after week after week, so many things just keep coming back to Sandy Hook. In some ways, you feel like we failed too because people didn't learn from us. We had really hoped, I think in all of our hearts, that people would have learned from this and that this wouldn't happen again. But there's just too much out there that encourages this kind of behavior. To have 8 funerals and 2 services. I have to tell you, after the wake, there were many. They brought their vacuums from home. They were vacuuming. There were fresh tissues and fresh water. All the windowsills were filled with tissues and water. If it was raining, they were escorting you from your car. Oh, gosh. Sorry. Well, so obviously I'm not through my trauma yet,
Please, Jesus. Okay, no, that's okay. Just try to stay calm, okay? All right?
Please, Jesus.
Okay.
Please, Jesus.
Stay with me, all right?
There must have been 100 shots, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know. We took a bunch of phone calls, but I'm staying in line with you guys. All right? It's going to be okay, all right? You listen to me. All right? They've got people on the outer perimeter. We're just trying to find where the shooter is, and then we will get somebody to you guys. Just stay where you are. Tell everybody to stay calm. Who's that? Is that?
Thank you. A police officer just came in.
Is it? Oh, there a policeman there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You guys are okay. All right? Okay, good. Take care, okay?